I just enjoy playing paintball. It'll never lose that flair. You pick up that paintball gun and you go out there and you play it, you're gonna have that excitement over and over and over again.
It'd be great if we could get paid to do what we do, but right now that's just not in the cards.
You just smash down that guy on the other side of the field to where they don't want to play you guys anymore.
There's nothing better than stabbing someone.
We turn it up a notch right now. We do not stop punching. Because if you don't, it won't be here next time!
There's a feeling about it, and everybody who plays it knows that feeling. That's why they hooked on it. That's why they love it so much.
In 2004, I joined the Ironmen, but prior to that, I didn't even play on a team, on a national team or anything. I used to play with my friends. I didn't even own a gun at the time. I was just borrowing from friends, you know. To play in a pro tournament was huge. And to travel and to be in the professional scene was a dream come true. And it was a whole new level, it was a whole new experience. It went from 0 to 100.
Brandon Short is an amazing, phenomenal paintball player. He's come leaps and bounds from what he used to be, you know? And he'll even say that.
I play the snake, and the snake's really demanding on your body. I'm diving, crawling, diving, crawling, diving, crawling. It just catches up to you, you know?
But right now we need him in one position, and he doesn't like that much. You know, he doesn't want to be just the snake guy. He wants to be universal, but you need a weapon, and he's a weapon like that. So we're not going to change him up and put him somewhere else. You know, we send that kid to the snake, he's going to shoot a couple guys for us every time.
If you let him in the snake, you're not going to know where he is, because he's good at hiding, and he's good at down the tape. You can't put him in.
Basic snake, you need to go from start to finish, and you need to cause as much problems as possible. You know? Hanging out in the back, trying to shoot people across the field isn't what's going to work. You need to get down that field, you need to make it happen. Staying alive is not important. Going down there and killing your 3 guys is what it's all about. It's for the team. Cup third game. I dive in and my arm dislocates out of the pocket. I'm sitting there now, not even really in the bunker, about 5 feet off it, in pain, in the worst pain of my life. I remember sitting in my bunker thinking, oh man, this could be the end of my paintball career. So I'm holding myself, and I finally snap out of it and realize, hey, this is the third game of the World Cup, this is it. But I stand up, and my arm goes right back into the socket, and I was good to go. It was good, we won.
Rusty Glaze, and he's really come up too. I remember when he just used to have the little spinner hat on the Ducks or something like that. He used to play at Camp Pendleton, him and Gator. He made a name for himself, and he's probably one of the most solid players out there. Without him on Excessive, they would have never been as good.
Get up right now and beat these guys.
Without him on Infamous, they would never have been as good.
The thing about him is he always plays really cool and collected. You know, even if he shoots a guy, shoots 3 guys, you know, he's not wigging out and running around trying to do stuff. He plays technical and he plays intelligent every time. Definitely that Phoenix tournament they won where he played really, really well. I mean, I think the game that we played them, he must have shot me 3, 4, 5 times in that game.
In the league, you see a lot of these guys that have been playing for a long time, you know, 10 to 15 years, and I'm only on 8, so those guys have been in the grind, and I respect that, and I want to keep going. So once those guys quit, that means I have X amount of years to match that and be equal to those guys.
Hey, real quick, guys. Hey, what made us real good at Phoenix is we're on the same page. Right now, no one's on the same page. We're just out here being lazy. Come out and play like you want, man.
So much for the light show. Pissing, I won't piss it off.
I left Infamous to go join John Richardson on Excessive. We won a bunch of tournaments. We won Denver, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Huntington Beach, but the promises of money that were there from the owners and the major sponsor never got delivered. So I returned back to Infamous with all my friends and all the people I grew up playing with.
Folding up the skyline, agreeing on a steep decline. Can't control this airplane. Being caught is just the same. Headed for a low life. Little love is sober life. Waking up the core needs. Smelling salt and faulted meat. And did the bones collide?
Early in my professional career, I would always be a snake guy and I would always be going into snakes, but I dislocated my shoulder over 200 times and then kept playing through it and never got surgery. So the smart thing I did was just move over to the Dorito side, and now I run down the Doritos and now I have knee problems, so what are you gonna do?
So much for the showdown. Keep it up while keeping on. Choking on the cold feet. Rolling up the plastic sleeves.
When it becomes a 7-man, I usually end up like I can play a middle position to either hold or I can run up the middle, bunker them out, and free up our guys to move. But when you're playing up the middle and you go running through there, you got guns on both sides, so chances are you could get shot up from a guy on either side or both guys. And they usually don't stop shooting until you stop moving.
Little love is so polite, so polite, so polite. Turn it off the low light.
Ever since I left Excessive, we never came up with a win. And I came off winning a bunch of events to rebuilding a team versus being on a built team. Finally, we got the right guys and put it all together.
Finally, I could talk to the video with a victory without saying we got a ton of penalties. We stayed out of the box and we finally came out with a win.
If you're a team scouting us, I guess you just wait till Sunday to play us, and then you wait for us to get the 5-minute, and then you go ahead and decide to score.
Infamous takes first place, start of 08.
I went up to Panaliv, which is a guy in the Russian Legion that plays the Dorito side, and I asked him at the end of the tournament if he wanted to swap jerseys. I didn't know we were going to play them in the finals, and we ended up beating them in the finals. When we went and shook hands with him and everything, he reminded me, which was really cool because he's really good and he's a guy that I really respect.
Bones collide. Little love is so polite, so polite, so polite.
The Blonskis date back to the original NXL when it started, is when the Blonskis came onto the scene, and they came onto New York Extreme, and they had a whole little group of kids. You had the old New York guys, and they brought on these kids, and they were like Midgetron is what the older guys called them. There was a whole bunch of little guys, and a lot of guys that were a part of that Midgetron thing have kind of faded out, but those guys stayed in it, and they really developed themselves as players. And I think being on the Russian Legions really helped those guys because the system's better and the quality of players is better, whereas New York Extreme was more running chaos, and you know, the players weren't as good, so they weren't able to excel like they have now, winning tournaments with the Russians.
Does it make you mad that like when you go to a tournament and people will like boo you, even though half the team is still from the U.S.?
Yeah, that's just funny to most of us. Some people that don't know that there's Americans on the team, so you get counter coached and shit, like, go back to Russia, you son of a bitch. It's like, I'm from New York. I mean, people are scared of what they don't know, and you know, the whole USA, that shit always happens in the finals. USA versus Russia, you get some rednecks chanting USA, USA. But it's just, we're just playing for our team. We just want to win. None of that shit really phases us.
I mean, I don't really give a who's watching and like who's counter coaching. It doesn't really matter. I don't listen to them. But it almost like helps us play better. And I think it's hilarious.
Falling up flights of stairs, scraping myself from the sidewalk.
Most kids don't know what goes into winning a pro tournament. I mean, you have to win so many games, you have to be on for so long. But once it's through and you got that first place, there's no other feeling in the world.
Cuba lips rolling beyond recognition. Diamond-studded teeth strewn like rice at Karma's wedding. The ring bearer bore bad news.
I know it's hard this year with this new race to 7 and shit like that. It's not really X-ball, it's more like 7-man because you know, you can't really try things. You can't do the same kind of things you used to be able to do in X-ball. You weren't worried about, you could go 0-3 and it doesn't even matter. But here, if you lose 2 or 3 straight points, you have to start thinking about how to rescue that. It's less time, less everything.
Hip-hop takes its last breath. The cops cross vernacular manslaughter on a yellow pad. Then balls of paper into his hand, deciding he'd rather freestyle. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. And maybe you should have. Maybe you should have before your bullshit manifested.
Going from NYX to the Russians was kind of like, it wasn't night and day, but the differences were clear. You know how it's everything is so much more organized.
We were brought on the Russian Legion kind of as a freestyle thing, so we could join it together as them kind of being like robots, whatever. They keep doing the same thing. We help them. Once you get on the team and you play with them and you earn your dues, you become one family.
Dear hip-hop, stop. This shit has gone too far. Stop. Please see that turntables and mixer return to Cool Herc.
You definitely feel really strong when you come back. Like, I remember once or twice when I came back this year from Moscow, I felt really sharp.
Stop. Perhaps you should not have encouraged him to use cordless microphones, for they have walked too far from the source and are emitting a lesser frequency. Stop. Please inform all interested parties that cash nor murder have been included to the list of elements. Stop. We are discontinuing our line of braggadocio in light of the current trend in realness. Stop.
They think this shit's Bobby Duke.
Give my regards to Brooklyn.
Playing with Snake's great. You get most of the glory, obviously. Bart plays in front of me. He usually does most of the killing. I just hide and try to bonus wall people, but there's nothing better than stabbing something.
Fucked out. In this thing I'm bugged out, 'cause I'm sure trying to luck out. Say hip-hop no more, son. It's bigger than that.
Sticking people is just like a perk, I guess, you know? I mean, it's not like number one on the list. You know, just go out there to stab people, but definitely feels good.
People, and you ain't rich, dog. You just got money, but you can't buy shit to not get hungry. These cats can't.
Kind of playing because I love the sport. Some people are saying that there's like future in TV. I don't think there is a future in TV, and at least not for a long time. So for me, I guess it's just playing for fun, you know.
I see through speakers. I speak what's seen. I eat and shit. I sleep and dream. I walk the streets of London like mean. And chillin' Wagamama eating crisp soybeans. It's like that.
Mouse, I like Mouse a lot. A lot of crazy stuff. You know, I had a lot of history with Mouse. You know, that kid taken under the wing by Mike Hinman. I don't know if that's good or bad things. Michael, you know, go crazy on you and, you know, but teach you at the same time.
When I first met him, I think this was like his way of getting me. He just cracked a bunch of jokes, acted like he was a nice, friendly guy. And then after a couple of practices, I got my first yell at.
We lost again. We lost. People are not doing their job. What's hard to figure, man? They're right here. They're right here. They're the shooters. They're going to take all day to score a point. So if we shoot a guy or two on the breakout, we just have to play slow, methodical paintball. Idiots, monkeys without brains, we cannot have on the field right now. There's no mercy for anybody, man, woman, or child.
Any team can beat you if you don't respect him. You just say, hey, what the heck, this team, we're going to run right over him.
Mouse, you know, he's got a great attitude when it comes to winning, which is everything else is unacceptable. He's really good, he's real aggressive. He's not scared of anything, you know.
I feel like if I quit, all I would do is just be thinking about all the times with my friends. We're just kind of laid back crew now. I mean, we're all around the same age. Only half of us can legally buy an alcoholic drink, so that's pretty funny. Paintball's fun. I know I'm not making crap out of it. Do it while I can. Usually teams struggle their first year in pro, but this team should be doing better than they are. I don't know, we're just a team that likes to sit back at the first half, let them get their points, and then second half play like we should, but it's too late. We're a funny team, man. We can be the best or the worst.